All right, so we have another example, all right, of a black police officer that is surprised when they are treated like a black citizen when they encounter police officers themselves, if that makes sense. Right? We have this in this situation, this out-of-state police officer gets arrested in Arizona for allegedly chirping his tires, burning out a little bit. I actually knew someone back in high school that got a ticket for chirping their tires. And he said that he felt targeted. So basically he was off duty, driving his car, hit a corner, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see it here in a second. Tires made a noise. Next you know, he's being arrested. Right? And to my comment earlier, this is another example of them being surprised that they're treated the same as if they weren't even police officers. Right? I feel like a lot of black officers, I don't want to say a lot. I feel like there's a good amount of black officers out there, or people in general, who hide behind the badge and, you know, feel like, and a lot of them do actually, get treated differently because they're behind the badge. And I feel like there's a big amount, a strong amount of African American officers that do the same, right? They feel like because they got the badge on, they'll get treated differently. But at the end of the day, you still, you know, and again, I want to say to all officers, regardless of race, I appreciate the good ones that are here to put their life on the line every day to protect and serve, right? Let me say that. And I feel bad for this gentleman, right? But it's just another example. I feel like I've done quite a few videos of these officers in training being treated just like we do outside of having a badge, and then they're surprised. I don't really get it. But y'all let me know what y'all think. All right, let's check this video out. Again, he got arrested out in Arizona for allegedly chirping his tires. Got arrested for chirping the tires. Not even a burnout or anything else, just chirping the tires, and he got arrested out in Arizona. But y'all let me know what y'all think. All right, it's Ricky Rich with Black Supremacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.
I was confused. I was shocked. I was angry. I was scared. I was a lot of things, but I wasn't a criminal.
This is a police officer from Illinois. So why are we telling you about him? It's because he's now taken on Tempe Police Department. He believes he was stopped, arrested, and thrown in jail because he's black. Tonight, he's talking only to ABC 15 investigator Nicole Grigg.
There was a lot of people, a lot of cars. Every bar was open.
This was Jalen Woods' second time here.
This is Mill Avenue and 6th Street, and you were right about here.
At this stoplight, that car is actually kind of similar to the one I was driving right there.
His first visit was just over a month ago on August 23rd.
I got my rental car, and I drove to Tempe, and less than an hour later, I was in handcuffs and taken into jail.
That Friday night, horses and officers on bikes waiting on the corner. An officer on a bicycle rolled up to Jalen's window.
And that's when he informed me that I was being stopped for chirping my tires.
So I actually have your traffic ticket. What was the violation that they cited you with?
The violation here that I was cited with is exhibition of speed.
Have you heard of that?
Before that night, I never heard of it.
Exhibition of speed usually relates to street racing. Jalen says he felt the Tempe police officers treated him like he was a criminal.
I was confused. I wasn't too sure as to why. I didn't know what I did to warrant an arrest. They asked multiple times about guns and drugs in the vehicle. They also asked for jewelry, if there was any jewelry in the vehicle.
He says he even told the officers that he was also a fellow officer.
I feel like that made matters even worse. Like, that made them want to escalate the situation even more because they didn't believe me.
Why do you think they didn't believe you?
Only thing I can think of is they might not be familiar with someone that looks like me, right?
Jalen was handcuffed, taken to the Tempe jail.
I feel like I was targeted and discriminated against because of my skin color. They didn't believe that I could be a police officer.
Jalen has since filed multiple internal complaints about the Tempe police officers he encountered.
Do you know what the police report says?
Yeah, from the prosecutor, when he read it to me, the police report says that they observed me make a left turn. They heard the tire squealing. He smelled freshly burnt rubber, and that I did some sort of fishtail as if I lost control of the vehicle.
Did that happen?
That's very far from the truth.
Would the body cam video show that happening?
It will not. The body camera video will not corroborate with that arrest report.
You want to see the body camera?
I would love to see the body camera footage.
I did request it, but it's going to be 14 months, they said, about, until I will receive it.
If I was trying to cover up something, I would make you wait a long time, too.
Tempe police tells us Jalen was arrested and booked because he did not meet their cite and release policy. But we looked at their moving and non-moving policies. It says physical arrests are only for DUIs, felonies, unlawful flight, and refusing to sign a citation. None of that fits Jalen's case. Tempe policy also says out-of-state violators will not be brought into the station to post bond as long as they will take care of the ticket.
There's no policy, right, that mandates them to pull over my vehicle. There's no policy that mandated them to order me out of my vehicle. There's no policy mandating them to arrest me. There's also no policy mandating that my car gets impounded. So I think that is also a big question. Why did they deviate from the policy?
Because of the arrest, Jalen was temporarily removed of his police duties while his department back in Illinois investigated. He's now back on the job.
I was confused. I was shocked. I was angry. I was scared. I was a lot of things. But I wasn't a criminal.
I heard that.
Yeah, that was a tire squeal. So does that guy deserve to go to jail for that?
Tempe police tell us their policy is now under review. And it turns out Tempe's case against Jalen wasn't a good one. Prosecutors dismissed it, saying there was not a reasonable likelihood of conviction. But it's possible that this case ends up in court, and that's because Jalen is also considering a lawsuit. I'm investigator Nicole Grigg, ABC 15, Arizona.
Jalen provided his version of events, and Nicole has followed up with Tempe. The city prosecutor's office says while securing a conviction in this case was not likely, the officer's decision in that moment to pull over the driver was reasonable. So what about the body camera video? We've been reaching back out to Tempe police to check on the backlog and whether that video will be available anytime sooner than 14 months.
Man. I don't know. They're gonna have to pay this man, I guess. I if I were him, I'd actually be scared to sue though, because at some point down the line, it's gonna come back to you. It's probably already gonna come back to you. I don't know. You might as well go ahead and get your bag. I'm trying to think about it. Like, I feel like for sure, if he's sued, he's going to get blackballed and he won't be able to advance in his career. He looks fairly young, so I assume that he's not deep into his career. But I don't know. I think just being in the situation, being in the news now, I think either way, he's going to get blackballed. So he might just have to go on ahead and follow through with the lawsuit and try and get the biggest bag he can, because that'll be pretty much it for his career, unfortunately. Just my opinion. But yeah, I mean they saw a young black man doing well and wanted to tarnish his career. That's why, I mean, even when he said, he let him know, like, hey, I'm an officer myself, and he said it felt like it got worse. Like they was like, oh yeah, we really gotta hang this fool out to dry, right? It's our opportunity. And that sucks. Feel bad for him. I do feel bad for him. You just really sucks being a police officer these days, because especially a black police officer, right? Because you can't, any little thing that you do, any scuffle, any little thing that could be the end of your career, right? And then further beyond that, you can get in a situation like this where it's like, look, it wasn't even that big of a deal, or I didn't do anything at all, and it can still ruin your career. And now they're talking about, does it not take 14 months for the body cam footage to be released? They dropped the charges because they knew they weren't going to win. They knew it was bogus. They knew it was foolish. He had no business being arrested and booked and car impounded and all of that. It wasn't part of their policy. Now they want to review their policy. What is it a review? Policy states it clear as day. He was out of state, right? Or he was from out of, well, either way, he was out of state. He was from out of state. They really just they was really just messing with him, But I hope he understands, and I hope that any black officers out there that see this or see this incident really just understand that just because you got that badge does not mean that you are anything different than an African American person, whether you be male or female or other. You still will always be treated as such. That's what we all have to realize, regardless of what our profession is. We all have to realize that this country will never treat us as equals in anything that we do. So it is what it is, right? Fortunately, we could still thrive and do things that we want to do, but we just have to always remember that we will be treated based on our skin color. And this is not just for African Americans either. This is for all races, right? Even for white folks, you will be treated based on your skin color. Fortunately for white folks, you will, in most cases, be treated better based on your skin color. Even by other cultures, you will be treated better based on your skin color. Right? I know, well, I'm not gonna pinpoint any other races or cultures, but there are lots of other races and cultures that will treat the white man better than they treat their own, by and large, in this country. We just all have to remember that's what we're being treated based on. So Feel bad for this young man, Jalen. I hope it works out for you. I do hope you get that bag. They need to pay you, and you need to go on ahead and get on it. Don't ever go back to Arizona. All right. But y'all let me know what y'all think. All right. It's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.